You guys talk about, trading for a three and D type guy. Some more fans are saying not to do that because of what they're seeing in summer league. So we're going to go to our next segment here. So the Sixers finished up the Salt Lake City Summer League games and are currently in Vegas. So the questions are, what are your thoughts from what you've seen so far? Are there any guys standing out? Because some of our fans say that we don't need to trade for a 3-and-D guy because we got him from Arkansas, Isaiah Joe, who's tearing up the Summer League so far, if you look at his three-point percentage. But just curious, what's standing out to you guys so far?
Go ahead, Teja.
Let me go first, Eric. I think Paul Reed did exactly what we needed him to do. 17-11 in Salt Lake City, not playing in Vegas, rightfully so. I think he proved. I think he is what we want him to be and develop into. He had a couple threes too. Isaiah Joe, I think, is a legit sharpshooter. He's 16 of 29 from three. If we did do a 2-for-1 swap for Furk, that would be, I think, who would replace whatever's left for the Furk minutes. Is he in a rotation guy? I don't know. I think he needs to be developed, though. I think what his skill set is, I think, is worthy of development. And I think we need to see if he can crack the rotation. Do you think he can crack the rotation, Eric? That's the question.
I think Joe has a shot to crack the rotation. It's just, if he does, maybe Furk and Shake, somebody's going to have to, not be in that rotation. I think he's, just from what I've seen in the Summer League, I think he's earned himself a shot just as much as those guys have.
Yeah.
I think he's earned that. So I expect he would get some look. I don't know how it will look, but I do believe that he'll get a chance. Whether it's early in, preseason games or early in the season, I do believe that he'll get a shot this coming season. And we'll see how he performs. I think that Paul Reed and Joe are the two guys that I feel that have increased their chances of, Reed, I think he's, confirmed solid minutes. I don't know the particular role, or being the guy that they kind of trust a little more. And like I said, Joe, I think with team as is, it'll come down. I believe it'll eventually come down to Furk and Shake and maybe Joe as maybe that 9th or 10th guy that you kind of look at. Is that first guy off the bench between those three? I think it's an open competition for those three right now. Who would be the first guy that would get the look? Springer. I'm not certain. He's always got to remember how young he is.
Yeah.
But the thing that was kind of interesting to me is I've kind of maybe envisioned him being more of a primary ball handler, but we've been having Cassius do that, which is Cassius is really good at doing that, and Springer was being used more as a scorer. So I think that's how they kind of view him, more of a scoring guy that could give you a punch off the bench, and that's kind of from what I've seen how I think they envision him. If that's the case, it's going to be tough for him to get in the rotation because
he's got his work cut out for him if that's his role.
Yeah, if that's his role, and even if he's a primary ball handler, it's going to be tough with not even Maxey, but James. You know what I'm saying? Just in general. So
and Melton.
Yeah, unless he just comes and he's better than those other guys that we talked about that's fighting for the 9, 10, 11 role. If he comes in and he has a better Kent than those guys, then maybe I see it. I just think that those guys are probably better fits for roles, specific roles than he is right now.
Yeah, it's tough because you got the four guys we just mentioned. He's not a better scorer than Shake, and he's not a better shooter than Joe. So that's hard. That's really hard for him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He could be a better scorer than Shake. We don't know. To me, if that's how they're playing them, I think that's how they view him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily go and say Shake's a better scorer. Like I wouldn't necessarily.
He's more polished because he's older. And he's got
Yeah,
more
I mean he has a little more experience, but I would need to see more of Springer to really just say that with so much confidence.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Charles Bassey so far? Because I think he actually looked pretty solid in that 5 role. But do you think he looks good enough to be our backup 5 so far, or you guys see more?
I like him.
Eric's a big
like
man
him.
guy.
No, I like him. I just think that he's it would probably be better for your third big right now. I still think you need the veteran big, and I think that he's a guy that I think can get an opportunity to play, but I still think that you need more of a veteran experience to deal with, the teams and when you're playing and making adjustments, and just when the teams throw different things at you, you have someone that's kind of been there before. But I think
when Joel's out,
yeah, and you kind of still need to give him a little burn, and I think he can get that throughout the season as time goes on. But I would say he probably needs to be a third guy.
Mm-hmm. So do we think that Paul Reed's more of like a backup 4? Because people still think he's that's the thing. The first game, he was the 4 to Bassey playing 5. When we first came out there. But yeah, people still want him to be our backup 5 for Embiid, which doesn't make any sense to me. If he's a 4 in summer league, he's not going to be.
That's why I think that we need more of a 5 than a 4, because I think that Reed is a guy that can play a little both, depending on who the opponent is.
Matchup, yeah.
So that's why I still say that the 5, even if Paul is getting those minutes, I still think you need a more veteran guy at the 5 position, because I think that if you can play some Paul Reed at some 4, you still have obviously Tobias and PJ that can play the 4 too. So even Daniel House can play some 4.
In house, yeah.
Based on so I think it's still more of the 5 position. I see him getting more minutes at the 5, even though he may be able to play some 4. If he's going to play consistently, I think it will be at the 5 position.
Because then if he does play backup 4, who's playing backup 5 then?
Yeah.
Bassey full-time backup 5? I just don't see that.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll play him at 4 along with a backup 5.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Even more so, yeah.
Yeah, and like we mentioned last week, there's a lot of available veteran bigs out there right now. So
yeah.
I think we're letting things play out, and then we'll probably see what's available by the time season rolls around. So
yeah,
bringing Dwight back or bringing Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins would be fun to have. I've always been a DeMarcus Cousins fan. I mean, it'd be nice to have Boogie in the house.
Yeah,
he had a stint with Morey in Houston, though, didn't he?
No, that was after him, because that was right around the time Harden wanted to get out. Remember when Cousins said, "We only want players who want to be here. We want players who want to be here," and Morey's already gone by that point.
Okay, so they just miss each other.